I think to get the skid plate off, I'll just position the ATC in its natural environment. There. Okay, welcome back everybody. A couple weeks ago, we took this thing for its first test ride, and I think in about, probably about 2 decades, and everything ran kind of good enough, to the point where I think I'm going to restore this thing. So, in this video, we are just going to bust everything down to the last nut and bolt. Stick around. Installed. Well, everything from the top fork bridge up, handlebar controls, handlebars, everything's all off. That was a piece of cake. I think I'm going to leave this how she is right now and work on getting this muffler off here. So I think the next thing I want to do is get the engine out. So let's see here. Probably a couple bolts down there, a couple springs, 2 bolts up there. Should be a piece of cake. Unless it's completely rusted in. I guess we'll find out. Okay, so we got the handlebars and fork bridge off, muffler off. I think next thing I'll tackle here is the electronics, wiring harness. Doesn't look like there's much to this at all. And at that point, I think we'll be ready to take the chain off, pull this big dog out of here. Cool. look at that. There's one bullet connector and one multi-connector in there. CDI on that end. Wiring harness ground. Kill switch. So the motor mount situation looks pretty darn simple. I think we just got 1, 2, 3 of these little weenie guys. Well, let's see what happens. I need a wrench. All right, this is getting ridiculous, that lower mount, so I'm gonna be buying a new bolt. The motor might go flying here once I pull this out of here. There. There, piece of cake. Now it should be loose, I think. Unless this whole bracketry, you know what? I think this whole, I think this slides out now. I think this might be like a C channel. I think we need to pry this out. We got a long screwdriver.
Jump in the front here.
And I can take this off yet.
Yeah, that might help.
So I don't know any way of getting this engine out of here without pulling the swing arm out. Because there's a lower motor mount here that keeps hitting here, and I don't see how to get this guy out of here. So I think we might be putting some penetrating oil down in here and trying to get this rusty old swing arm bolt out of here before we can get the motor out. I don't know, is it possible to pull these motors out of here with the swing arm still in? Laugh at me in the comments below if you know. Pry that all the way back and that'll give us enough clearance. Oh, actually, we might be able to get that out of there now. Might
not. Might not.
Son of a gun. No, I don't think there's any way of getting that out of there without taking the head off or the swing arm off. Who designed this thing? So what'd you find out? Lean her sideways?
Lean it sideways and wiggle.
All right. Oh, okay. Oh, that was easy. Well,
Crazy.
that was a terrible idea.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's the drain hose? What else is stuck here? It should come right out. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we had that pushed all the way back, didn't we?
I don't know.
I hope we had that pushed all the way back, because that definitely looks like that's why that's designed like that, to hold. You know, this is just a terrible design. Okay, so I think I'm at a point where I'm just going to start taking off some of the other little accessories here and there. Still worried about that swing arm bolt, but I guess we'll tackle that problem when we get to it. But yeah. So let me know in the comments below if you like this type of video with more working, with more live talking. I've been kind of watching one of my favorite channels a lot lately, 2 Vintage. He kind of does videos kind of like this. I really enjoy those. Check out his channel, 2 Vintage, on YouTube. And if you like more in-depth videos like this from me, instead of me blasting through everything like I normally do, let me know and I'll start making more like this. So I think for now I'm going to leave the fork in this state. I'm not going to disassemble it in this video, but I'm going to pull this apart and rebuild the brake caliper, rebuild the hub, put new fork seals in this guy, new boots. And I think I'll make one video just doing an ATC250R fork rebuild. So be sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss out on that. I will have that out hopefully in the very, very near future. All right, back to the rest of the pile here. So in preparation of getting the swing arm pulled back, I think I'll probably take off the bolt that's holding the top of the shock, get the air reservoir off here, and then at that point I should be able to see if I can get that swing arm bolt unseized and get the back end of this tore apart, hopefully. Okay, that's free. Yeah, I don't know if I'm impressed by this swing arm design back here. I don't know if Honda had their A-team engineers on this thing. I think they had. Jeff must have been working that day, because this is absolutely seized in here. And I don't know, well, I guess it can't be seized when you're liquid. So let's get this rocking and rolling. Are you kidding me? Well, this is an absolute catastrophe. Heat here. Still can't get this thing apart. Kind of looking at a little parts diagram here. I think there's a couple steel sleeves here and here that are seized in. You know, don't tell anybody. I am buying a new bolt because I am done with this and whatever else I damage here. If I can get a blade in there. Sorry, folks. Well, this is turning out to be an absolute catastrophe. I mean, can't get a cutoff wheel in here to cut this sucker. I burned through about 15 Sawzall blades trying to get in there. Those bushings in there are just hard as a rock. So, ended up going with some diamond blades on the electric grinder. Dad got one side cut off. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. Then we should be able to drop this thing out, and I'm going to be replacing a lot of parts down here by the time this is all said and done. Great. Installed. Well, what an absolute show. I've got chopped up, hacked up stuff everywhere. That worked pretty darn good. But, yeah, I'll have to pound this out of here somehow. I'll have to do a little sanding to, when I paint the frame, to make that all pretty again. But, well, at least it's in two pieces now. All right, probably have to disconnect the brake line, take the hubs off, and this thing should be ready to go on the shelf for a bit. Okay, so I'll delicately remove the brake line, and we should have two separate pieces here. Piece of cake. Well, that swing arm took a little more time than expected, but luckily these hubs are so worn out, there is a 0% chance that those are rusted on them. So let's pull the castle nut off and get the wheels off. See if I can pull the axle out, and I think we will call this thing disassembled. I can't do this one hand. I need to put the camera down. Sorry. That's nice and safe. This is on hand tight. Yeah, good thing I was hauling butt on it yesterday. Oh well. One. Yeah, I think these hubs are shot. but it looks like these are the same things that were on the ATC90s. So I know I've got a handful of these out in the parts pile. I'll have to go scrounge around and see if I can find a nice set without ripped up splines. Yeah. What else? I take that shock off, flip this guy over, take the other tire off. We'll call this Dunsey. Out and finger tight too. Gosh, that's not even the right. That's not even the right thread. What the heck? Michael Jordan over here. So this is funny. Somewhere back in the day, a previous owner just put a nut on here that's big enough to fit on there, threw a cotter pin on it, called it good enough. Works for me, I guess. Well, all right, everything is pretty much disassembled. I didn't get a chance to get the rear brake apart in this video, but after this swing arm catastrophe, I am donesy for the day. But we've got parts laying everywhere here. So what do y'all at home think I should do with this guy? Do we just pressure wash everything out and part it out, or do I do a full restoration? Leave me a comment below. It's going to come down to you, because I've had it for the week with this guy after that swing arm bolt. But if you want me to go ahead with it, let me know. I'll go ahead with it, and we'll have some more videos in the upcoming near future on this guy. So in the meantime, if you want to check out more Bigfoot Bikes and Brews videos, click the video on the left, or if you want to check out last week's video, click the video on the right, and I'll see you next time.